So today's video is about a story about how I was very foolish about purchasing my first camera. It is a very embarrassing story actually. मतलब इसी से मैं सीखा हूँ और उस टाइम भी वीडियोस थे कि कैमरा कैसे परचेस करना चाहिए पर मैंने उसको भाव नहीं दिया. So this Nikon D500 is my first interchangeable lens camera. Basically पहला कैमरा जिसकी लेंस चेंज होती है. इसके पहले मेरे पास एक ही कैमरा था, पहला प्रॉपर कैमरा जिसको हम बोल सकते हैं. मतलब नॉट टू से दैट अदर कैमराज आर नॉट प्रॉपर कैमराज, बट स्टिल मेरे पिताजी ने मुझे मेरा सबसे पहला कैमरा लेके दिया था P610. इट वाज अ कूलपिक्स P610, निकॉन का ही था. इट वाज अ ब्रिज कैमरा. मतलब उनकी कैटेगरी अलग से थी कि कुछ पॉइंट एंड शूट कैमराज होते थे पहले छोटे वाले, जो हमारी फैमिली कैमराज हुआ करते थे. किसी के पास साइबर शॉट हुआ करता था, किसी के पास कूलपिक्स था, किसी के पास कैनन था, किसी के पास फूजी था. तो वो छोटे छोटे कैमराज हुआ करते थे. And then there was another thing called as bridge cameras. These bridge cameras looked like DSLRs. उनकी lenses fixed ही हुआ करती थी, उनमें बहुत अच्छा zoom capabilities हुआ करती थी. और उन bridge cameras में आप manual settings में shutter speed adjust कर सकते थे, aperture adjust कर सकते थे, ISO भी adjust कर सकते थे. They were not very capable. Many of the times they could not shoot raw, JPEG images निकलती थी. But those cameras, on those cameras you could learn basics of photography, कम से कम, ठीक है. And then after those cameras were your basic DSLRs. Now I should have gone with an intermediate DSLR. मैंने थोड़ी फोटोग्राफी सीख ली थी मेरे P610 के ऊपर, जो मुझे मेरे पापा ने गिफ्ट किया था. पर मैंने बहुत हाई लेवल तक या फिर एक एंथुजियास्ट लेवल तक फोटोग्राफी नहीं सीख पाया था मैं. And then a logical step up from that would have been me purchasing something like a D70-200 or something like that. अगर मुझे D5600 नहीं लेना है या 5500, अगर उस टाइम जो भी था, मतलब if I don't want to buy those entry level bodies, maybe I could have gone with a D70-200 or a D7500. I don't think it was out at that time, but maybe it was there. Instead of going with this is a high-end professional Nikon DSLR. DX DSLR में सबसे top of the line था. Basically, how it was marketed, I remember it as being a condensed version of the D5. क्योंकि autofocusing system same था, थोड़ा tweaks. It was a little different. I think the processor was also a little less capable, but it was the best autofocusing system of its time in such a small body. And after this, similar autofocusing system was put in the D850. So it was a very advanced camera for its time. And I learned photography on this. ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत capable camera था इसलिए मुझे कुछ तकलीफ हुई. The problem was, when I purchased this camera, it costed me around 1,20,000 rupees. I had no money left after buying this camera and one or two lenses. And the lenses I got, very poor choice of lenses. पहली चीज़ तो वही बात है, अगर आप ऐसा कैमरा खरीद रहे हो ना, आपका बजट 2 लाख 1.5 लाख होना चाहिए. At least you should have a budget of 2.5 lakhs or something like that to build an entire kit. I did not have a tripod, I did not have a camera bag, I had nothing. I got this camera with a 50 millimeters lens, and I got a 70 to 300 millimeters lens. I did not even have a wide field of view, any kind of a lens. Later on, after a few months, I was able to buy an 18 to 55 kit lens. I put a kit lens on this camera, and it was not a bad lens. It is still a very sharp lens. I still can use it on this camera. It is just that if you don't have good quality glass on your camera, it will not perform as well as you expect it to. You will not have the best shooting experience. And if you don't have a tripod, if you don't have a camera bag, how the hell are you going to carry this thing around? If you don't have an additional battery, how are you going to move through an entire day of shoot? तो प्रॉब्लम यही हो गया कि पूरे पैसे मैंने बॉडी में खर्च कर दिए कैमरा परचेस करने के लिए, और लेंसेज के लिए पैसे नहीं थे, ट्राइपॉड के लिए पैसे नहीं बचे थे, कैमरा बैग के लिए पैसे नहीं बचे थे. XQD memory card, till date I could not put an XQD memory card in this camera. I always used my SD card. इट वॉज गुड इनफ, बट आप सोचो ना, D500 में आपके पास एक सिक्योरिटी कार्ड ही नहीं है, आप रॉ में 200 बफर यूज ही नहीं कर सकते, तो 200 इमेजेस का जो उसका बफर है, बेसिकली इट इज एन अनलिमिटेड बफर लिमिटेड टू 200 images. You cannot shoot at full performance for that long duration. So basic, I messed up. I put all my money in the camera and I had no money left. Why I'm making this video is, why I'm telling you this story is because I had a comment under a video about my new Nikon Z50 Mark II, which is filming me right now. And I'm filming with my 28 millimeters lens. So my 18 to 140 kit lens, which I recommend everybody should get with this camera, is here today. I got a comment under the video, and the person in the comments was asking कि उसके पास 60-70 हज़ार रुपए है. He wants to get his first camera, just like I wanted to get my first camera back then. He is willing to stretch his budget by 40,000, 45,000 rupees to get the Z50 Mark II. And he was asking me, is the camera really worth the price? It is worth the price. It is really good. But that's not the point. If it is your first camera, if you don't have, I'm assuming, but I wanted to make this video with this concept. So we'll move with this assumption that this is your first camera purchase ever. This is your first purchase about anything photography related ever. So if this is your first purchase related to something that is, getting you into photography, this is your first camera, I'm assuming you don't have a tripod. I am assuming you don't have a camera bag. I am assuming you're not thinking of spending money on buying additional batteries for your camera. And if that is the case, you should never think of getting the highest end, best possible body for your money. You should think of, if I can save some money and still extend my budget and purchase an additional lens, let's say a really good quality lens with an aperture of f1.8, 1.8 or f2. Let's say you get a 40 millimeters f2, or you get a Viltrox lens for cheap, and maybe you can get a tripod, maybe you can get a camera bag for that additional 40,000 that you pay over the Z30. So what I'm trying to say is, if you can invest that money practically, it will actually help you get better images. The camera bag will help you go out more with your camera. A good camera strap will give you more confidence with your camera. A good tripod will allow you to place your camera in different positions, maybe film yourself, record yourself like I'm able to do right now with my tripod. If you get additional batteries, if you get an additional memory card, it will act as a backup safety memory card. If you get more batteries, those will allow you to shoot throughout the day. Instead of, shooting for an hour, video, the battery is completely drained out, you plug it in again, you charge the battery for another hour or so, you miss all the light, the possibilities of multiple footage, multiple things that are happening around you, you miss all the shots. Instead of that, if you have additional batteries, one battery is dead, you just put another battery and you keep shooting, right? So that is the whole point कि अगर आप एक कैमरा परचेस डिसीजन करना चाहते हो, यू शुड कंसिडर कि आप बजट एक्सटेंड भी अगर कर रहे हो तो कैमरा बॉडी इंप्रूव करने के लिए बजट मत एक्सटेंड कीजिएगा, और बेटर इक्विपमेंट दैट सपोर्ट्स योर फोटोग्राफी, वो इक्विपमेंट खरीदने के लिए बजट एक्सटेंड करिएगा. दैट इज व्हाट आई फील आफ्टर मेकिंग दिस कोलोसल ब्लंडर्स, ह्यूज मिस्टेक्स. I now understand that if I have a budget of 1 lakh rupees, personally मैं खुद Z50 Mark II नहीं लूँगा, मैं Z30 लूँगा, एक ट्राईपॉड खरीदूँगा, एक अच्छी कैमरा बैग खरीदूँगा, सर्कुलर पोलराइजर फिल्टर खरीदूँगा, 2-3 बैटरीज खरीदूँगा. If there is any money left, then I will think about how to invest that money. But I will invest in gear that supports my photography. Okay, maybe I will throw in a little bit more money and get a Viltrox ka nice 1.8 millimeters ka Air series lens, specifically made for the DX camera bodies, the APS-C camera bodies. Those are great lenses. So that is how I would make a camera purchasing decision today at any given price point. तो अगर आपको अपना बजट कभी भी एक्सटेंड करना है, नेवर एक्सटेंड योर बजट फॉर अ बेटर कैमरा बॉडी if you don't already have equipment. Okay, if you don't already have equipment to support your photography, never extend your budget buying your first camera only for a better body. Extend your budget for better equipment. That is all that I wanted to say. So now, just to answer that question, if you already have all this gear, अगर आपके पास tripod है, lenses है, batteries आप ले सकते हो, सब कुछ है, और आपको फिर भी decide करना है, should you extend your budget and get a Z50 Mark II over a Z30 or a Z50? Definitely you should. It's a no-brainer. The camera is far superior in video and autofocus and just the user experience overall, the body look and feel. I'm a big fan of the camera now. It is the best looking DX mirrorless camera Nikon has made apart from the ZF-C. That is a vintage looking camera. It is a completely different matter. Looks wise, body feel, grip, body की size, weight, हर एक चीज़ में, ऑटो फोकस में, परफॉर्मेंस में, बटन्स, कस्टमाइजेबल बटन्स की प्लेसमेंट में, ergonomics wise basically is what I'm trying to say. In every aspect, video, 10-bit video, you don't get that with Z30. So this is not a specifications video or a comparison between these cameras. I'm just trying to say, if you have the equipment supporting, get a Z50 Mark II. If you don't have equipment, don't go for a better body. And this philosophy applies for any camera purchase. If you can invest in better lenses, in better glass, in better equipment, always go for a adequate, good enough camera body, but better lenses and equipment that supports your photography. Heck, if you have the money for it, this is a fast stretch. Get a bike for yourself and travel out there more, okay? Like a motorcycle. Go out there, take more images. Use that money to put in fuel in your car and go to farther locations and stay there and shoot something. Use the money to book a train ticket to Mahakumbh or Varanasi. Go there, shoot street photography in Varanasi. Have a better portfolio of images. Invest in printing your images instead of getting a better body. Okay, that is a more practical, a better decision. And I have made those mistakes, so I can tell you that. Okay, chalo, I'll wrap this up. इतना ही रखेंगे video, and I'll meet you in the next one.